Hello, as promised, I said I'd make a video on how orthotics work, so here we go. So before we can understand how orthotics work, we have to understand a little bit about foot function and how the foot works. So here we have a skeleton foot. Now the outside of the foot, the little toe side, is what we call the lateral side of the foot, and the big toe side here, that's called the medial side. Now when we're stood up, there's pressure generated between the foot and the ground. The ground's pushing up underneath the foot, which generates pressure. If the foot is stationary and not moving, we've got even pressure on the lateral side and the medial side. Both sides of the foot, the pressure is evenly distributed and we get no motion within the foot. If we have more force on the lateral side of the foot, we get a motion called pronation occurring. So the foot is pushed over and we see the arch of the foot come down. That motion is called pronation. Now the opposite happens if we have more force on the medial side of the foot. So we've got more pressure underneath the medial side of the foot and it's pushing the foot over to the side. That motion, see the arch of the foot coming up and the foot being pushed over to the side, that's called supination. So we've got pronation here, where the arch comes down, and supination when the arch comes up. So alongside pronation, we get internal rotation of the leg. So as the arch comes down and pronates, the leg turns inwards. And the opposite happens with supination. If the leg turns outwards, the arch of the foot starts to come up and we get that supination occurring. So when do depronation and supination occur when we're walking? So when we're walking, the foot contacts the ground, usually on the outside edge, around the heel, and so we get a lot of force on the lateral side, and that's pushing the foot into pronation, and we're getting that internal rotation of the limb. Now as the step progresses, this is the right foot, so as the left leg starts to swing through, this right leg is going to externally rotate, it's going to start turning outwards, and the foot is going to resupinate, the arch of the foot is going to come back up. And that occurs just before the heel starts to lift up. So at the start of the step, we contact the ground, the foot gets pushed into pronation. As the next limb swings through, this leg is going to externally rotate, the arch comes up, and then the heel lifts. Now we often get problems when the foot can't resupinate. So for whatever reason, we've got too much force on the lateral side of the foot. So the foot has come down, it's pronated as it should do. But the next limb is swinging through. This leg is starting to externally rotate, but there's too much force on the lateral side of the foot, preventing the foot from resupinating. So what we do as podiatrists is identify why there's too much force on this lateral side of the foot. And then we make an orthotic. So this is a basic orthotic that we supply here as Health. We put an orthotic underneath the foot, and that's going to redistribute pressure underneath the foot. It's going to move the pressure from the lateral side of the foot, and it's going to focus it more on the medial side of the foot, which helps assist the foot in resupinating. So when this leg starts to externally rotate, we've reduced the pressure on this side, we've moved it over to the medial side, and we should then see proper supination occurring within the foot. So that in a nutshell is how orthotics work. They basically redistribute pressure from one part of the foot to another part of the foot. And it's my job as a podiatrist to be able to use orthotics to manipulate the forces under the foot in order to take the strain off injured or damaged tissues and redistribute the forces elsewhere in order to allow that injured tissue to get better. So I hope that this video has been beneficial to you, and I explained a few things about how orthotics work. If you have any questions, then please feel free to ask in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to answer your questions. Similarly, if you have any ideas for future videos, again, please ask in the comments below, and I'll do my best to make future videos depending on what you want. So make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, our Facebook page, Twitter and Instagram, and then when new videos occur, then you should be notified of those. Okay, so that's all from me, so take care and I will see you next time. Bye.